Hey there, sheepdoggers, and welcome to my unfair opinion of medieval engineers. So basically, I'm sick of doing reviews. Like, you know, as I always say on my reviews, like, oh, it's my opinion, so, you know, like, this is just me playing the game, and, like, whatever, my opinion's just as important as everyone else's, but I still get people going, you know, like, oh no, you're wrong. It's like, well, no, I can't be wrong, it's my opinion. You can disagree with me, that's fine, but at the end of the day, I give my opinion about a game, I show you gameplay footage. What you do is you watch it and you go, okay, that looks cool, or okay, I agree with him, it looks shit, or I disagree with him, I really like the game. In which point, why are you watching a review if you've already played it? So at the end of the day, I'm changing things up. These are now unfair opinion videos, they are not unfair review videos. Because I'm not reviewing, I'm playing a game, and I'm going, here you go, this is my opinion on the game. And then at least when people, you know, kind of comment on the video and go, oh, I disagree with you, you know, or they say, like, you're wrong, this is a good game, I'm like, it's my opinion, fuck you. So anyway, this is Medieval Engineers. We've got the ranty bit out of the way, and here comes a promising game, but there's not enough of it now to really recommend or de-recommend. Or bash into the ground. So we'll just do a custom start. The loading times are ridiculously. I should have taken the autosave off as well. The loading times can be ridiculously long. And now, this is where, well, this is actually one thing. We come here with no peaceful intent, ready for battle, blah, blah, blah. William Wallace. Like, yeah, William Wallace was around the medieval times, but it doesn't have that much to do with engineering, or, you know, I guess it has a little to do with castles. But we had one from, I think it was Plato, like a Greek philosopher. And we had another one from someone, I think it was a Buddhist. It may have been Buddha, actually. It may actually have been Buddha, like a quote from Buddha. And I understand if you have, like, quotes. You know, if you want to have, like, nice little quotes for the loading, that's fine. But we're ready to meet them beard to beard. You wouldn't want to meet me beard to beard, to be fair. I don't have a face cam, but still. So yeah, This is, it's a little weird, like medieval engineers, and you've got a quote from Buddha. I find that strange. It's just you read it and you're just like, oh, okay, why is there a quote from Buddha in here? So yeah, you know, like in Total War, even though I'm not a massive fan of Total War anymore, there, you know, it was always quotes about war. You know, in this you could have quotes about building and quotes from medieval, like William Wallace. But having Buddha's a little bit weird, I feel. Anyway, it's you know, quite often the quotes I've read aren't kind of, they don't go with the situation or what you're doing or anything. It's just a random quote that's a little, you know, that's deep and meaningful, but not for the situation. Anyway, yeah, that's just a little something that kind of made me go, So, Medieval Engineers is well, if you know Space Engineers, it's by the same guys, it's got kind of the same idea, just come into early access, and, well, you guys probably know my thoughts on early access. By now, I get early access games, so I can show them to you before you get them. Hence why I'm doing this unfair opinion now. So I grabbed Medieval Engineers. I thought it was multiplayer. Unfortunately, it isn't yet. And that's where it runs into its first real problem. There are two main problems with this game, which I will go over. The first one is that it's not multiplayer. Okay, and the second one, well, actually one of the other minor problems is the fact that the frickin' loading time takes so long. It also lags very heavily for me. Maybe that's an option. I haven't looked into it yet. But, you know, yeah, if you're just a regular person who's interested in the game and you buy it, the problems I run into are probably going to be the same that you'll run into. So it lags a lot for me when you start breaking shit down. I really wish this would load so I can actually show you the game while I'm talking about it. But we'll just see how that goes. I loaded up like the smallest one as well because maybe I should have preloaded it. Possibly that is something that I should have done. The amount of professionalism here at Sheepdog Gaming. We're a team of one moron, and he doesn't work very hard. No, let's be fair. He works quite hard, but he doesn't work very well. So yeah. So basically, there is no multiplayer in this yet. That significantly holds it back from being worthwhile buying now. Pretty much because, well, it's not that fun by yourself, like, especially for me, if I'm doing a video, if I'm streaming, this kind of game is just more entertaining with friends, so I can toddle around for a little bit, and I did a stream on this, and we had a fair few people in there, but they were all just people wanting to see the game quickly, no one, well, there are people who, my regulars who just watch pretty much everything I do. But, the new people who came in, they were just wanting to check the game. They weren't looking to see me build anything. They weren't looking to kind of, like get entertained and be able to say, oh, you're shit at this game or whatever. Because there's no real way to be shit at this game. At the moment, anyway. And yeah, the multiplayer, I did a stream for 30, 40 minutes or so. And that was it. I was kind of done by then. I think it is loading. Yeah, there we go. It's loading in now. Oh, okay. This is actually a lot bigger world than I thought it was. So there's no multiplayer, which is the first part it falls down on. I would heavily advise you to wait for this game. I'm just going to put that out there now. Wait for this game. Because you look at it and you just think, well, how cool would it be building like a castle here, get some friends together and just build like a mountainside castle, maybe even like dig into well, that's a little bit of a tear in the land, right? Oh, it's gone, no problems anymore. And you can see I'm flying as well. You can turn flying mode off, and then you've got like the building, so you can just like put that down there, and as you can see, there's a little bit of lag and etc. And you could there's also kind of physics in it, as it were. So you can see like the pressure points or whatever. And then I can like build like this and build like this, and you can see the pressure. See, it's green and yellow. So put another one down, it goes yellow and yellow. Put another one down, it goes more yellow. And basically, the more pressure and etc., the more likely it is to fall down. I wouldn't expect this in real life to hold up, really, but it's possible, I guess, depending on how you built it. I have a feeling it's gonna, yeah, there you go. And this is I was going to talk about this a little bit later, but it's good enough now. This is another problem, is the way it just kind of crumbles apart puts me in mind of, like, I don't know, paper mache, or, like paper or whatever. Like, when it crumbles, it really, really crumbles. So it doesn't exactly feel like rock, just like a little tap with this, boom, and you see that like there. That's good enough for now for early access, but I would hope that they'd improve that so it doesn't end up just doing that. There are other bits that are strange, like you can't take divots out of the floor or anything with these. The balls, regardless, they don't exactly bounce. They just kind of, yeah, you can see there, like, that really should bounce and shatter like it was before. But it doesn't really do that unless you do it kind of like here. And not all the time. So they need to sort that out. It's not too bad, though. And you see, basically, what you can do now is it's just creation mode. So there's no resource gathering and building from that. There's no kind of survival or whatever. There's no multiplayer. So it is just creation. And, so you can build some really cool stuff. And if that's all you want to do, and you like the look of this game, then I'd say, yeah, you can get it now and start trying things out and seeing how it all goes and everything. Also, like this is stone, and it just snaps apart in half a second with one of those. This is stone, and it's You'll never do anything to this. You can just do this all day, and it'll just be like that. So again, yeah. And so the other major problem, aside from not having multiplayer, is there is no resource gathering. You know, so like while it is really cool to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to build a giant castle, there's no long-term fun, in my own opinion, in the creation aspect of it. What's fun is going off, again, probably even better with friends, but gathering trees. You can mine and all that stuff, and yeah, that's the kind of thing that's just fun. Like, you know, that's the satisfaction of making something is enhanced when it takes you resources to build it. So, you know, if you had like multiplayer, I'm sure there could be some fun made from, you know, like quickly building a castle in creative mode. Then you and your friends come on, you know, you quickly build some trebuchets, catapults, etc., and then kind of go off from there, you know, and you siege the castle and you fight each other and have fun. You know, that's where this game is going from what I've heard. So that'll be fun. But, you know, the real fun, I feel, that can be had with this game, where this game really needs to end up and where it's headed, as far as I know, is resource gathering, mining, etc. You can almost kind of... You could probably have, like, castle life simulators. You know, so you can have, like, a castle, and you can, you know, have miners and maybe even blacksmiths and etc. I don't know where this game's going in that aspect, but if it does go that route, that would be really fun. And you can see me just, you know, this is what you can do. You can create or you can destroy. Those are your options right now. And what I want from this game, aside from multiplayer, is the ability to like gather and then craft and then create and not create and then build and, you know, then fight and then destroy and, you know, all those things can be really, really fun. And you can see here, I'm just trying to knock it off so that the roof collapses, which I think will be, if I hit it there, that should do it. No, not quite. There? It's an interest. Well, obviously, you know, there we go. And if this falls... Also, the sound is something they need to work on. There's not much in the way of sound. Okay, so let's see if we can just knock this off, because this will illustrate something else that just... It aggravates me slightly. If you knock this off... Oh no, maybe it's more with stone. Also, the wood's a little bit buggy, and it will... yeah. So there you go, like this is... I'm not going to spend too much time on this game. I'm going to give you a few more bits of opinion and thought and etc. and then I'll be done. You know, you guys can judge for yourself whether you're interested in it. I'd say my own personal recommendation is keep an eye on it. It could turn out to be awesome. Don't buy it yet. If you're interested in creation, yeah, you can buy it now. I can't promise anything, but you could probably buy it now and have fun with it. For myself, I don't find that much fun in just pure creation. I like the crafting, building aspect more, resource gathering, and etc. We'll go over to these trees while I talk. So yeah, I played this for a bit with Pi in a stream. Like, we were both playing it and just talking about the game and what you can do. And yeah, there's little, and as you can see, the sounds really aren't exactly there. There's not much really, unless you're just gonna run around creating. There's not that much to do. The physics seems decent, you know, not too bad. You can kind of knock bits out like so, and yeah, and then it'll fall, and there you go. So I think it's got a great base for a game, but you know, it's early access. And one thing I will say is this is pretty much early access done right. You know, they tell you what they're going to be doing. They give you an idea of where the game is. The only thing is, like, maybe... I guess I didn't look into it enough, but I thought there was multiplayer straight off the bat, which is why I grabbed it. But still, that's as I said, that's probably just my lack of research as opposed to them not giving enough information. But yeah, yeah, it's early access done right, you know, like, because you can say like, oh, the physics isn't perfect, but you know, in a game like this, you need time working on it. So they've released it in the state where the physics engine is like there and it's functional, and you know, you can smack this guy and he'll fall down, and there you go. It's not perfect, but it's early access. And the difference between good early access games and bad early access games is good early access games have problems. All early access games have problems. The good early access games, you say, but it's early access. You know, so like this is a good game, but it lags a little bit because it's early access. But it lags a little bit because it's early access, or you know, the physics engine isn't perfect, but it's early access. Whereas, you know, a bad game, you go kind of like, well, a bad early access uses it as an excuse, basically. You know, this is a reason, like the reason why this game isn't perfect is because it's in early access. You know, they hadn't finished development, they're still working on it. Whereas a bad early access game will go like, oh yeah, this game has problems, but that's because it's in early access, and you know, it's fine for it to have problems, and the problems never get worked on. And yeah, you know, they're like, we left this out. I don't know. It's a little bit hard to explain, but you know, it's hard for me to put into words. I know what I'm thinking, but I can't put that into saying exactly. But my thoughts on early access are like, this game, it's solid. It's got a solid kind of bare gameplay. It's got good ideas of where it's going, and they've released it in such a state that you can have fun with it. But at the same time, you know, there's not that much to it, so you're not going to be spending all your time playing it. Like, in my opinion, especially with sandbox games like this, you don't want to... And actually, it was probably a good idea that they didn't include the multiplayer to begin with, to be honest. Because when you put multiplayer into an unfinished game, that encourages things like PvP. And then what you get is an H1Z1 situation where, you know, you don't have enough gameplay to make up for the lack of content in early access. And people, it's the DayZ effect. You know, people just end up killing each other, playing it way too much, because, you know, they make their own kind of entertainment, as it were. But the game's not finished, so when new content comes out, you know, they'd be like, oh, that's, you know, I can just do the same thing, but I'm bored of the game now. So I don't know, from a kind of from an earning money standpoint, like kind of a quick earn money game, this isn't a game which is just going to be like, be released, everyone's going to buy it, it's going to get hyped out of existence, and then everyone's going to be disappointed. I feel more like this game is something where people go, right, I'm going to keep an eye on this game. You know, I'm gonna keep an eye on this game, and once it's got to the point I want, to the point I'll have fun with my friends, you know, like when they add multiplayer and etc., then I'll consider getting it. Or, you know, they'll just go like, right, I like the idea of this game, I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna try it, and I'm just supporting the developers. I'm not gonna overplay it or anything. I'm just gonna, you know. So yeah, I think this is a decent example of early access done right. There you go. Like, you know, those sounds are not great, but it's in early access, so that's forgivable, that's understandable. Whereas, you know, if they'd released it and you had creation where the creation didn't really work, you had destruction, you know, like just hitting things didn't really work at all or whatever. They've got the basics in, you know, so like you hit this and they get destroyed. You know, you can't like hit this repeatedly and it gets destroyed down to nothing, but it's early access. And anyway, that may not be 100% necessary. So yeah, I don't really want to go any further than this, I don't think. I'm happy with my opinions and my thoughts put forth on this game, because as I said, it's just been released. There's not that much to it. I mean, I could take you through more gameplay and show you show you more like a castle where I smash it or smash some more trees or whatever. But this is basically it. You've got your creation, as I said. You know, there you go, creation. You've got your destruction. You can build, you know, obviously a whole load of things. What more do you need to see, really? That's it. There you go. Is it a good game? It's in early access. There's no way to tell yet. Is it a bad game? Again, it's in early access. No, there's no way to tell yet. You just have to put your faith in the guys who made it. They made Space Engineers. You know, you can take a chance, not take a chance. It's up to you. My opinion is it worth buying now? Probably not. Not unless you really want to try out the creation and destruction. Will it be worth it later? Possibly. Should you buy it now? Probably not. I mean, that's kind of what I mean about the destruction. Is it just kind of crumbles a little bit too easily, and it doesn't feel like that's rock, you know, like the weight of it or anything. So that needs work, but again, it's in early access. It's fine as it is, in my opinion. So there you go, guys. That is my unfair opinion. I'm sure there are a whole load of people who have played the game who will have a go at me for being kind of middle road, like it's all right, but it doesn't have that much yet. And all I can say to anyone who's like, I played this game and I really enjoyed it, why are you watching something that's kind of giving first impressions, opinions and reviews if you already know how you feel about the game? That's the question, really. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.